Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We're so glad you are joining us today as we continue our journey through the Book of Proverbs. Remember, Proverbs 13 says that a fool does not delight in understanding, but only in showing off how much he knows. Verse 1. Many a vision and many dreams there are, but only the Lord's interpretation is trustworthy. In other words, what God says is correct. So if we are upright, we must walk in God's ways. But if we are wicked, we are headed for trouble. In other words, we can make our plans, but God has the last word. Commit your plans to the Lord, and He will help you fulfill them. What is just is better than what is unjust, even if it means we get less. Prosperous plans are established by the counsel of the Lord, who connects all of them. So even though we plan our lives, it is God who directs our steps. So we need to make sure that we are seeking God in all that we do. So before we start making our plans, we should ask God for His plan. And when we have made our plans, we should pray that God blesses us in carrying them out. But someone who is a mocker doesn't seek God's wisdom. If we think we are innocent, we need to make sure that we are innocent in God's eyes. If we are not innocent in God's eyes, then we are detestable to Him. So if you've got something to say it with kindness, because no one here is a fool. If you want to be wise, then prove it by acting wisely. Our good deeds are very pleasing to God, but our sin is like cobwebs to Him. If we obey God, we will be blessed. If we fear God and stay away from evil, we will live longer. If we hate someone, it will cause problems between us. But if we love someone, it will cover up our offense against one another. You might just be having an off day, so take it easy and enjoy this video. A smart person hides his knowledge, but a fool reveals his foolishness. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about God and His Word. Remember, wisdom is a fountain of life to the wise, so drink deeply from its refreshing waters. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. We think in our hearts is what we are, so if we are wicked inside, we will act wickedly outside. But if we are righteous inside, we will act righteously outside. Better it is to be humble in the Lord's sight than to trust in man's favor. But deceit is found in the hearts of those who plot evil. To avoid household quarrels, give 7 answers to a fool, or 8 to answer a provocado. Only a fool quarrels with the Lord and the patient among men. Some people are so stubborn that you have to say the same thing to them 7 times before they believe it. Some are so provoked that it takes 8 answers to calm them down. Fools fight against God, so beware who you are arguing with. Pride leads to destruction and arrogance to downfall, so be humble. Don't be envious of others and don't gossip about them, or else we will lose our friendships. And now, without further ado, let's dive into the wisdom of Proverbs chapter 16. And an act of kindness shown at the right time is better than a harsh thing in time of need. It is a good idea to wait until the right moment to give a gift or show kindness. Arrogance and pride in an evil way is a snare, but he who takes heed to his words will find good success. When God speaks, His words are correct. So when God shows us His ways, we should follow them, both small and greater in His sight. So far He is not regarding persons, for He is pleased with the way that is right and will teach humility and meekness. In other words, you may think everything you do is right, but the Lord judges your motives. So we should always check our motives and make sure they are right. The Lord hates arrogant people. He will never let them escape punishment. Verse 2. The Lord's way is right, and the upright man walks in it, but the way of the wicked leads to stumbling. Verse 3. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. So here it is again. Verse 4 to 6. All a man's ways seem pure to him, but motives are weighed by the Lord. Verse 7. When the Lord leaves His footprints on a land, there are many who are ready to follow His ways. Verse 8. Better is a little with righteousness than abundant crops of what is unjust. Verse 9. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. Verse 10. In their own eyes, the wicked are innocent. They are utterly detestable to the Lord. Verse 11. By how much the way of the wicked is heavy with cobwebs, so is the way of the righteous pleasing to the Lord. Verse 12. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers over all offenses. Verse 13. Envy leads to futility, and gossip separates friends. Verse 14. A furious person stirs up strife, and a mocker seeks wisdom and understanding. Someone who gets mad easily causes problems. Verse 15. The sluggard's appetite is never filled, and he is always in need. A lazy person is never satisfied. Verse 16. A gift opened at the right time is a desirable thing. Verse 17. Arrogance goes before destruction, and pride before a fall. Verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him who thinks he is wise actually be wise. Verse 19. Fear the Lord and shun evil. It will ensure that many years are added to your life. Verse 20. Whoever gives heed to instruction will prosper, and blessed is he who trusts the Lord. Verse 21. In his heart a wicked man has his iniquity, but he who is right is father to the upright. Verse 22. Understanding gives a wise man patience. It is his glory to overlook offenses. A wise person is patient and overlooks offenses. Verse 23. A prudent man conceals his knowledge, but the heart of the fools proclaims their folly. Verse 24 to 25. Pleasant words are as a honeycomb, sweet to the taste, and healing to the bones. And that's all the time we have for today's lesson.